Have you ever noticed that some people seem to live the same year over and over again, even though time keeps moving forward? The same financial situation keeps appearing, the same relationship problems keep repeating, the same frustrations show up again and again in slightly different forms, almost like life is running on a loop. At first it can feel like bad luck, or maybe even like the world is working against you, but the truth is, something deeper is happening. Most people are not consciously creating their reality. They are repeating their programming. Your brain is designed to automate patterns because patterns make life easier to manage. Once your mind learns a behavior or a belief, it tries to repeat it because familiarity feels safe. The challenge is that the same thoughts create the same actions. The same actions create the same habits. The same habits produce the same results. So if nothing changes in the mind, nothing changes in reality. This is why many people feel like they are stuck in the same cycle year after year. Life may look different on the surface, but the underlying pattern never actually changes. A person might change jobs but still feel stressed. Someone might enter a new relationship but experience the same arguments. Another person might make more money but still struggle with the same financial mindset. The environment changes but the pattern stays the same. The reason is because the subconscious mind runs most of your life. Your subconscious mind stores beliefs about who you are, what you deserve, what is possible for you, and how the world works. Once those beliefs are installed, your brain begins filtering reality through them. You begin noticing things that confirm your beliefs while ignoring things that challenge them. For example, if someone believes they are unlucky, their brain will automatically focus on negative events that seem to prove that belief. If someone believes success is difficult or rare, they may unconsciously hesitate when opportunities appear. The mind protects the identity it believes to be true. This is why two people can experience the same situation and interpret it completely differently. One person sees opportunity while another sees risk. One person sees possibility while another sees limitation. Their internal programming is different. To stop repeating the same reality, you must first understand something important. Your reality follows your identity. Identity is the story you tell yourself about who you are. If someone sees themselves as someone who struggles with discipline, their behavior will unconsciously support that identity. If someone believes they are not confident, their mind will generate thoughts that reinforce insecurity. Your brain is constantly trying to stay consistent with the identity it believes you have. This means the most powerful way to change your life is not simply to change your goals, it is to change your identity. Goals can create temporary motivation, but identity creates permanent behavior. If your identity shifts, your habits naturally begin shifting as well. But before identity can change, awareness must happen first. Most people move through their day without observing their own thought patterns. Thoughts appear in the mind automatically, and people assume those thoughts are simply true. But thoughts are often just old programs repeating themselves. If you want to break a repeating reality, begin by observing the thoughts that show up when something challenging happens. Pay attention to the sentences that appear in your mind. Many people unknowingly repeat identity statements like these throughout the day. I am bad with money. I always mess things up. Things never work out for me. I'm just not the type of person who succeeds. These statements seem small, but they are extremely powerful because the brain interprets them as identity commands. Your mind does not question them. It accepts them. Once the mind accepts an identity, it begins generating behavior that proves the identity is correct. This is how patterns stay alive. But the moment awareness appears, the pattern becomes visible. And once a pattern becomes visible, it can be changed. Breaking a repeating reality requires 3 steps. The first step is awareness. The second step is interruption. The third step is replacement. Awareness means noticing the pattern. Interruption means stopping the automatic thought before it continues. Replacement means intentionally choosing a new thought or belief that supports the reality you want to create. At first, this process may feel unnatural because the brain prefers familiar patterns. But repetition creates new identity. Every time you interrupt an old thought and replace it with a new one, you begin training your mind to operate differently. Over time, your brain begins forming new neural pathways. Those pathways influence new decisions. Those decisions create new habits. And those habits produce a different life experience. Another important part of breaking a repeating reality is changing your emotional state. Your emotions reinforce your beliefs. If someone constantly feels stressed, anxious, or frustrated, their brain begins associating those emotions with everyday life. But when someone begins intentionally cultivating emotions like confidence, gratitude, curiosity, or calmness, the mind begins associating life with those feelings instead. Emotion strengthens identity. This is why visualization, affirmations, and intentional thinking can be powerful tools when used consistently. They are not magic. They are training methods for the brain. When someone visualizes themselves succeeding, their brain begins rehearsing that possibility. When someone repeats empowering identity statements, the subconscious mind begins integrating them slowly over time. Eventually, those statements stop feeling unfamiliar. They begin feeling natural. And when a new identity feels natural, behavior changes automatically. This is the point where a repeating reality begins to break. Because once identity shifts, decisions shift. And once decisions shift, outcomes begin changing. The same world exists around you, but you begin interacting with it differently. You notice different opportunities. You respond differently to challenges. You make choices that the old version of you might never have considered. And slowly, a new reality begins forming. It is important to remember that this process does not happen instantly. Many of the beliefs people carry were formed over years or even decades. Changing them requires patience and consistency. But every time you interrupt an old pattern, you weaken it. And every time you reinforce a new identity, you strengthen it. Eventually, the new pattern becomes the dominant one. At that point, life begins moving in a direction that previously felt impossible. So if you feel like your life has been repeating the same cycle, understand that the cycle is not permanent. It is simply a pattern. And patterns can always be rewritten. Start observing your thoughts. Start questioning the identity you have been carrying. Start choosing beliefs that support the person you want to become. Because the moment your internal programming changes, your external reality begins changing with it. Your future is not created by chance. Your future is created by the patterns you repeat today. And once you learn to change those patterns, you unlock the ability to create an entirely different life.